Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mundane Matt, and welcome back to It's a Mundane Life. This is for the first week of January 2017, brand new year. I have a new outlook on things, and I'm excited for the future. Right, 2016 was an awesome goddamn year for me, an awesome fucking year, and I have a feeling 2017 is going to be pretty badass in its own right. I don't know what's going to happen yet. Anything could go down this year, but I predict big things. I predict fun things. And that's just all I can do. All I can do at this point is keep moving forward and keep trying to make sure that I'm just living my life for me and doing the best that I can, and also trying to build my business because that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. 2016 brought me exponential growth to my channel, and it did a lot for me. Gave me the financial freedom that I've always wanted, and it's fucking amazing, you know. And I love what I do. I mean, like I truly love what I do, and I know a lot of us YouTubers say that, like, oh, we fucking love what we do, you know. And you might think you're full of shit. You don't always love what you do, and the truth is, I don't always love it, but I love it like at least 92% of the time, you know, like that overwhelming vast majority. I love what I do, but there are days, my God, there are days where I'm just like, fuck any of this shit. I don't want to do it. Y'all can suck a big fat dick. Not you personally, but like, you know, like the world in anything, you know, sometimes like the trolls can get under your skin in ways that just really bother you, and like you can't do anything about it, you know. So you just have to kind of like grin and bear it and move on to the next thing. And then that's what we all do as content creators on this platform. But no, like I said, there's days where it's just you just don't want to do it, right? But there's actually a cure for that. There's a remedy for that, and that's called January. The entire month of January is the worst month of the year when it comes to YouTube ad rates, right? Because here's what happens: you've got, like, generally speaking, like October, November, December. Those are your three big months of the year when advertisers are just pumping money into the system, right? And everyone is just like raking it in hand over fist, because it's meant to kind of like, you know, fatten you up to get you through like January and February. You know, at least in like 2015, January and February were really lean for me. January of 2016 was pretty bad, but then in February of 2016, things started looking up for me. But truth be told, that had a lot to do with the fact that the Fine brothers had that whole React World incident, and that really boosted me up. So that since then it was doing pretty good. But the point I'm trying to make, though, is that, like, as a content creator on this website, this is the month we all dread. This is the month where you're like, you know what? I did okay. I did okay in December. I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna go on a cruise. I'm gonna go do my thing. Like, I got an email today from Carnival Cruise Lines asking me if I wanted to get a cruise for like $200. And I'm like, first off, you fuckers, I've ridden with you twice now. I know it's not going to be $200. I know it's going to be more than that, but I still took a look anyway. And they have a 4-day cruise, right? 4-day cruise from Los Angeles to Ensenada and Catalina Island, and then back to LA, and which is the cruise I did back in 2012 for my 30th birthday. And it's a good cruise. It's a fun cruise. And it's like $208 a person, right? It because it's in February. Like, those are the months you want to go cruising, because those are the months where it's like dirt cheap. And I'm like, I hit with a girlfriend. I'm like, hey, you feeling like going to Mexico? Feeling like going down to Los Angeles, going on like a 4-day cruise? Just getting the fuck out of the country for a couple of days? It would cost us like not much money, you know. And then she's like, no, I don't want to go back to Mexico. She hated it there, and everything. But it's like, those are the, you know, this is the time. This is the time when you run out and you do new things on your channel. You try new things. This is when you experiment with different things that people may or may not like. This is when you do all of that shit, because this month it doesn't fucking matter. Period. Right? Like, it just doesn't matter. Like, I'll give you guys an example. Like the amount of views I did the other day like let's say 77,000 views the other day, which is pretty good for my channel. Uh, what I made this month was about like 2/3 less than what I made last month for the same numbers. Just giving you an idea of how it all works out. So if you're looking at getting into this industry and into this field, I do totally recommend it. But this is the 1 month out of the year where you have to just be like, fuck, okay, it's going to be ramen and tuna fish. That's what it's going to be. And that's, it's maybe not that bad, but we'll wait to see what happens. Right now, this first week is just like, oof, rough. But that's okay. That's okay. I've been taking this time to kind of reevaluate how I want to approach things on my channel, reevaluate how I do things. And I frequently do that. I always feel like I'm growing as a creator. The downside to it is like, I'm always also investing in new stuff because I want to like see if I can get it to work to the best of the ability. And like, I picked up the Rode Video Mic Pro because that came highly recommended to me. And, I don't know what the problem with it is, but like, I'm having trouble like getting the audio to sound any remotely as good as this, right? Like this, not tinny and everything. Cause I'm recording this on my Blue Yeti. And, of course I'll be able to sweeten the audio a little bit in post-production before putting it to a single, standalone image background and then go from there. And so it's one of those things where it's like, I'm still trying to figure it all out, right? Cause I like to be able to do stuff on the go. I like the audio to sound pretty clean. I like there to be a little bit of bass to my voice, so that when I get in real close like this, I'm making love to your eardrums, just because that's how I like to make love to people. Fuck actual intercourse. Penis and vagina sex is horrible, but penis and eardrum, it's not. No one will want that. But I'm like currently working on that kind of stuff. But you might have noticed that over the course of this week, there's been 3 episodes of $3 Theater, which is my movie news show. And, that's something that I'm trying to make more of a constant staple. And the reason why is because I'm kind of sick and tired of a lot of the negativity. Not only the negativity that surrounds just general commentator shit on YouTube, but the negativity involved with movie discussion, right? And like, that's the downside to everything involving movie discussion. There's just an absolute dickload of negativity that comes through all of it. And it's just like, why? What's the fucking point? I don't want to deal with this shit. I'd rather be more positive about it. I'd rather tell you guys my opinion, at least from a positive perspective, talk about cool things, talk about what it means to me, things like that. And thankfully, the people who do watch $3 Theater are liking it. They like that approach. And I've gotten a few messages on Twitter and other places talking about like, that they're glad that somebody is starting from that mindset, which to me says I'm on the right path. So it will definitely take a little bit of time to kind of grow that to the point of where it's like an anti-SJW or anti-feminist video would do. Cause I mean, let's be fair here. Like at this point, those are the videos that tend to do like the best, those kind of videos have for a number of us. And that's okay. That's okay. Those are topics worth discussing, and people want to know our opinion and they want to know what's going on. So it's filling a need, and it's and people like it. So I don't look at it as being a bad thing. I don't look at it as being like a shill thing. There's tons of smaller YouTubers that will cover every little thing that they can, and they'll do it, and they'll do it when they're that small because they want to get the attention and they want to be able to kind of establish themselves, but they also just want to talk about shit. And this platform is very much for just the process of talking about shit. I mean, that's what this is, and everything else. And here's the thing too. It's like, even with this, It's a Mundane Life, if I would post this on my main channel, or when I was posting this on my main channel, I would get like, 4,000 or 5,000 views an episode, if not more. And me dropping it off to the vlog channel is done primarily because I want this to be for people who are interested in knowing more about my life and what's going on, but the people that are really interested, not trying to shove it down someone's throat who may not be interested, And so it's definitely like a give and take and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, so $3 Theaters, I've been doing that. I was using my my iPhone 6 as my camera because the webcam it's still fuckered on Windows 10, and I was using that, and I like the front camera of the iPhone 6 shoots 720p, All right. And I'm like, no, I want to have like a better looking image. I gotta use the back camera on the iPhone 6. You know how hard it is to like line up a shot, right? Like with that, when you can't see what you're looking at, when there's no like monitor. And so I get it all. Like I kind of say fuck it. I'm like, I'll just do 720p, at least that way I can see what the hell's going on. And then it dawned on me today. I'm like, oh right, I've got the Canon GX7 Mark II I bought over the summer. That has video recording features, and I was using that as a camera for my channel for a while. Why don't I just use that? And that way I can at least shoot in 1080p. It looks a lot better. It's a lot cleaner image and everything else. So I did that today, and yeah, worked out just fine. No problems. I'm going to start doing that more often. And the thing with Three Book Theater is, and okay, like those of you who followed my channel for a while, those of you who know me well enough, you guys know I love movies. So I love talking about movies. And that's the reason why I wanted to do Three Buck Theater. I wanted to do it because I figure it's the best way for me to talk about what I love. And, you know, I might make a little bit of money off of it. I might not. It's perfectly fine the way it is. And it's also a great way for me to kind of maintain my sanity in some respects, because it's talking about things that bring me absolute joy. So there's a lot of that, and I'm totally okay with that. So that's what's been going on with everything. I've also thought about like doing more, like top 5 stuff with movies, you know, like top 5 movies I'm looking forward to in 2017, like top 5 pointless movies in 2017, like those kind of things. I don't know. I've been watching like a lot of like Collider videos and a lot of like Looper videos and a lot of like Grace Randolph stuff. And it's like, I'm asking myself if that kind of content is necessary, to be fair. I mean, like, yeah, there are things that, you know, like I might sit there, instead of doing the videos where it's like top 5 fucking whatever, I might just do top 5 videos that are in this segment on Three Buck Theater, like if it's a slow day or something, or talk more about like movie trivia for a movie, or like, because I want to try to make it more of like, maybe not a Monday to Friday thing, but definitely like, you know, 3-4 times during the week, to build that staple up. And maybe not always talk about movie news, but like also drop in other tidbits of information. I'm still kind of working on it, still trying to figure it all out, because one of the things is like I've said on the videos too, is like, I want it to be more about like the process of making movies, be more about the industry, be more about like these kind of aspects of it that aren't coming from the like super fucking cynical movie blogger perspective, right? And there's so many of those people out there that are just like, I totally love movies, but fuck everything about them. And you guys know who I'm talking about. You all know someone at least. So that's my goal. And that's kind of the thing for 2017. I mean, I'm going to experiment this year on new things. You know, I've got a goal for Forbidden Knowledge. I talked to the editor and I'm like, we're going to do one a week, the whole goddamn year. That's gonna be a tough one, but we're gonna do it. You know, like I'm trying to prep content that's like months out. You know, I'm trying to get some of that stuff done. I've got a few scripts already written, and I've already prepaid one author for like another fucking 12 more. I'm gonna hit him up to be done. You know, I'm all like, all right, man, we're gonna fucking do this. And the reason why I want it pre-done is because then it's like I'll have the ability at that point to really just kind of like, you know, like have content that's going to be coming out, going to be feeding into the machine, if you will. And then I don't necessarily have to focus on it week to week, because sometimes it's easy to get lost in all that. And like, that was one of the reasons why I put it down for a few weeks, was just because like doing my daily content, the construction outside my window, I was just like so fucking overwhelmed by everything. I'm like, I can put this down. I ain't making any money at it anyway. Like, I can put this thing down and then I can just go from there. And that's essentially what I did. And then of course, now it's a new year. I have a new goal. Bam. I also have another personal project that I will be talking about sometime in the future. I'm actually meeting with a guy on Friday, a friend of mine, to discuss it. He doesn't know we're going to discuss it, but we're going to discuss it. So it has to do with audio. It has to do with movies. And that's going to be all I'm going to talk about right now. But I think it's a good idea. And I've pitched it to some of my friends in LA, and they really like it. And it's something that I think is pretty kind of unique, and one that I think will resonate well with not only people who live in LA and work in movies, but just average people as well. And so I'm optimistic, and that's a goal for this year. I don't know what will come of it, or if it will change, but yeah, I got good thoughts. I got good thoughts. That's, again, I'm trying to remain positive this year. I feel like there's been a lot of stuff lately that's been too negative, and I'm trying to be positive because I'm like almost 35 and I'm doing pretty well, and I'm like I'm good. I'm good, I mean, like, hell, like, here's the thing. Tonight, for example, right, walking home for my nightly walk with my girlfriend when I'm too lazy for us to go to the gym, you know, because we we got a Vitamix. I've mentioned that before, and we had like I made like green smoothie, like spinach, orange, carrots, I think, a couple other things. It was really good. Pineapple, fucking lime. Not even kidding you. Like, some of the ingredients in this shit's crazy, but it was good stuff. And then we had like some orange sorbet that she wanted to make up. So I was like completely like bloated with like smoothies and like other things like that. So I didn't want to go to the gym. Anyway, I don't know why I'm telling you guys that, TMI, but so we're walking home and it's like 23 degrees outside. It's fucking cold in Oregon, right? Fucking cold, windy as shit. We're walking up the street right next to a bus stop. I look down at the gutter, right, or like the curb to the road, and I see what looks like a leaf for a piece of paper. And I look a little bit closer, and it looks like, oh shit, that's a bill, right? That's like $1 bill. And I reach down, I'm like, wait, that doesn't look like $1 bill. And I pulled it up, and it's $50. It's two 20s and a 10, right? And some person had lost it getting onto the bus. And I'm like, there's no way for me to find out who this person is. There's no way for me to find out anything. And so it's like, what am I going to do with the money? Well, I figure my mom just started a new job, temp job. She lost her previous job, and she has to take the bus to and from work every day. And that's about $25 a week, pretty much, if she gets a month-long pass. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to put down $50 of my own money. I'm going to get her a month-long pass so she can get to and from work. So then it saves her a little bit of money while she's trying to get back on her feet in the new year. And so, I'm not trying to score like, oh, good son points. And I'm most definitely not going to rub it in my sister's face. So if you're listening to this, Samantha, you better get your fucking daughter game on, because I'm coming at you hard. I'm kidding. I wouldn't rub it in her face. I mean, not directly. I might mention it as a guilt factor, just when I feel like messing with her, but I'm not going to do that. No, but I do want to help my mom out because she's gone through a bit of a rough time recently. So I want to make sure she's doing good. And that's how I'm going to do it. Plus, I figure, like, come on, like, I mean, how lucky do you have to be to find $50 on the road, right? Like, the best thing I can do is just pay it forward to somebody else who needs it and shit. So that's how I look at that things. Anyway, so moving on into other topics, I actually, tonight, for example, there is a life-changing thing that's going to be happening to me, a life-changing thing. For whatever reason, found out that I went to the dentist a week ago to get my cleaning, and I go in there, and they're like, hey, you need to, you chipped your tooth. And I'm like, I didn't realize that. And they go, oh yeah, so we need to get you a cap. And then also you should look into getting like Invisalign braces. And I'm like, okay, like, my teeth ain't that bad. And they're like, no, your teeth aren't bad. It's just like, a preventative measure. It's just preventative for the future, right? Like, they're like, do you sleep on your side? I'm like, yeah, that's a very odd and intimate question to ask somebody, but yes, I do. And they're like, oh yeah, that's why, because this is like where your saliva kind of lands, and this is what happens with plaque buildup and everything. And I'm just like, wow, I had no fucking idea. So they said, well, if you don't want Invisalign, how about a night guard? And I'm like, oh yeah, I could totally do a fucking night guard. That's no problem at all. So fast forward to today, picked up my night guard, and I tested it out. And oh my God, it's going to be really hard to fucking sleep with that thing for the first couple nights. So what I'm doing tonight is, like, right now it's about 3:31 in the morning. I should be asleep. I am very tired. But I'm waiting to get myself extremely tired so I can put this thing in and then sleep with it. Because I know I'm going to wake up in the morning with, like, my jaw and my teeth hurting. My teeth are hurting right now thinking about it. So that kind of sucks. But, that's part of growing up, part of getting older. You know, you get. I have a friend of mine. He's a YouTuber. He's like 20, just turned 21 and shit. And we'll talk about things, and he'll be like, "Oh, I can like drink all this caffeine and then go right to bed." You know, I'm like, I can't do that anymore. Like the other night, I was we watched Star Trek Beyond, and I had like I wanted popcorn. I was craving popcorn. But see, me personally, I like air popped popcorn. You know, just air popped popcorn and like some what's the word I want to say here? But not even salt, like just pepper, because pepper actually helps kind of like boost up your metabolism a bit, right? So I'm like, okay, just get pepper in there, and that's fine. But my girlfriend's like, no, 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 no. I got this idea. Why don't we cook it in a pot? like, not like a skillet, right? Not like popping it, whatever. Same process, but in a pot. So I said, all right, fine. Even though we have an air popper and we have air pop popcorn, right? Take way less time. But she's like, oh yeah, I got Pam in here, and she threw some garlic salt in. Long story short, popcorn turned out to be okay. The shit that wasn't burnt, at least, but that was just trial and error. But a little bit too much salt. And those of you out there who are a little bit older who might come across this, you understand what salt will do to you a little bit too late in the night. I started getting like heart flutters. I couldn't go to sleep. And as a result of that, I was up to like 6:30 in the fucking morning. And I'm just like, my sleeping schedule has been shit all week. So I'm very much trying to get it back on track. But at the same time, with this whole night guard thing, I'm like, I'm just going to wait for my body to be like, you need to go pass out. And then I'll put it in and I'll go to bed. And that's kind of where I'm getting close to. So it's really weird to kind of be at that point now where I have to go get a night guard, because the Invisalign I thought about. And then I looked in to see how much it would cost me with my insurance. Yeah, I don't really want to spend over $4,000 on invisible braces. Not yet. I've had a good year at YouTube, don't get me wrong, but not $4,000 for braces good. All right? Like springing for the extra fucking sweet and sour sauce packets at McDonald's when I get a chicken nugget meal. Like that kind of good. But not $4,000 invisible braces good. Maybe one day. I'll be making that DSP money. He begs for it all the time. I'll be making that Boogie 2988 money, and then $4,000 braces. Oh, I got no idea. I got no idea. I figure we'll see how this thing works out. Thankfully, my cousin is actually like an assistant at the dental office. So like, she's like, if this isn't good, you come back and you talk to me, and everyone at her office knows what I do. And they all ask her like, oh, do you watch your cousin's videos? And she's like, no, he fucking curses all the time. She has 2 kids. And they're like 9, and one of them wants to be a YouTuber. That's what he wants and everything. And so he knows what I do. And I guess to him, he's like, oh, I want to be like Cousin Matt. And I'm like, don't you dare show him my fucking videos. My cousin's like, I'm not going to. I'm like, no, but I'm serious. Like, I mean, I can talk to him about it if you want, but like, don't do that. Like, don't tell, these kids my channel. The jokes that I make are clearly not aimed at children. And, I'm just doing this to more or less protect them, right? Like, I just, if the kids stumble across it, like, I'm pretty sure my cousin's 6-year-old son stumbled across my channel because he said something to me when I was up there visiting him, that he had seen my videos. And I don't know if he had found the channel, if it was something else. He wouldn't say anything else. And it wasn't like he was traumatized. It wasn't like he came across one of my videos where I'm sitting there just going like, oh, you fucking jizz sucking, cock knocking bastard mother, nothing like that. But I'm still kind of curious. We're still trying to figure it out. At this point, it's an enigma with that side of my family. And he seems relatively well adjusted. He's a really great kid, actually. And so there's that. And every time something like that pops up, I always think to myself, what would happen, right? Like, what would happen if like I was going to be a dad, and then like tragically I passed away. Okay, I died, and then it's like my child grows up not knowing me as a father, but then like my mom or somebody says, did you know that your father was a semi-popular YouTuber? I mean, he had some subscribers and he had some popularity, but really he just talked a lot of shit on the internet. And then they go to Mundane Matt and check him out. And it's like, there's like over 3,000 videos, right? Ranging back 5 years almost. of me talking about things. I could just imagine, what it would be like for that kid. I could just like sit there and like just watch like me talk about like how to survive strip clubs, like for the cheap, and talk about like the Gamergate stuff, or even getting to the point of when like I got my silver play button and I did the unboxing video and I broke down crying, from it and everything else, like it's so crazy like what this kid would see if they started at the beginning and worked their way forward. And the downside to that is, in the beginning, it wouldn't be who I am. In the beginning, it was definitely an act. It was mundane mad. It was over the top, antagonistic, provocative, trying to be something that I'm clearly not. That's what it was in the beginning of this thing. But now it's a little bit different. I'm more me. I'm more mellow. So that kid would have to go through like a lot of content just to get there. And I mean, that might be a bit presumptuous of me to think that that's kind of what my child would do. It's like, I want to know my father. I will watch his YouTube channels. Oh, here's an interesting story about a woman who faked a quintuplicity, right? It's their quintuplet pregnancy. You know what I mean? Like things like that. And it's like, it's just, there was a lot of try hard back then and everything. And I don't know. It's one of those things. I think about it from time to time. I don't have kids. There's nothing on the way or nothing like that. But I think about that. Like, what if something happens? That would be my one link to this. The one link this child has to me would be everything I put on the internet. And would they go through it? Would they be interested in it? Would they be like, wow, he is a callous motherfucker? Like just, it's so weird. Like think about that too, because like only parts of it are immortalized. It's like Carrie Fisher dying the other day, and we're all sitting there crying about, losing Princess Leia and remembering how she looked in 1977 when the movie came out. And clearly that's not all she was, but that's what a lot of us know her as. And that definitely plays into a lot of it. So it's one of those things where you just, you can't think too much about it, to be honest with you guys. You just can't think too much about it. And I guess in those late night moments when you're all alone with your thoughts and it kind of comes up in your mind, that's when you deal with it. But in the meantime, it's just something else entirely. So there's that. Like I kind of think about that from time to time a bit. Not that I'm questioning my own mortality when I'm going to die. I mean, I could literally die tomorrow. I could fall getting out of the shower. I could be hit by a car walking the street. I could choke on my energy drink in the morning, right? Like, Anita Sarkeesian could finally finish me off with a hired Turkish assassin. I mean, like anything could fucking happen, essentially. So, you just got to kind of live life and everything else. And again, that's a part of what 2017 is too. It's living more, going out more, doing more things. It's just finding the balance between work and everything else, considering the fact that I work from home. I'm home all the time. I can work at any point in time in the day, but you would think that's awesome. You'd think that's great. And 99% of it is, but there's still the whole notion of time for everything else. When do I find time to play video games and kind of relax? When do I find time to do things I want to do? When do I find time to get up and go outside and explore the world? When. And it's such a tough balance to maintain. And that's another thing to take away from this too. If you've made it this far into this ramble, if you've made it in and you want to do this game, there is that to consider. How much of this can you maintain the balance? And I would fucking love it. I would fucking love it if I could do one video a day, and that one video a day did like 70, 80,000 views, right? Or one or two videos a day, and it equaled that. It would save me so much time. But truth be told, I've been doing 3 videos a day for so long. People know me as putting out 3 videos a day, and it's my channel and its success is kind of wrapped up in that. This month, like I said, I'm experimenting with more of the $3 theater, because $3 theater does well. It will do on its own, but I might have to get to a point of where I quickly do 3 main news videos and then also record a $3 theater to drop later on. Right. And I don't really want to do that. I don't really want to do that at all. I mean, that is unless I do, I do the 3 news stories, for the evening, right? And do 3 Book Theater, and then I launch 3 Book Theater in the morning. People can listen to that on their way to work and have morning content. That is something I've been thinking about, is like doing a couple videos, posting them, like doing 3 videos a day, posting 2 in the evening, 1 in the next morning, and then going from there, because I don't post in the morning, and so I miss out on that morning commute and shit. And sometimes it does have an impact on my numbers, and that might be something worth looking into for this month to see how it plays out, so on and so forth. Like Philly D, he posts at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday. So you know his schedule. You become used to it. Like I'll be sitting at home and I'll look at the clock and I'm like, oh shit, it's 1:58. All right, well, I'm gonna head over to Philly D's channel, bring it up, and get ready to hit refresh when it hits fucking 2, so then I can watch it and then be one of the first commentators, so that I can get all that sweet, sweet thumbs up, which only happens like once or twice. But you guys get the point. It's like we become we are creatures of habit. We are very much creatures of habit. We very much are predictable in that regard. And if there's something that we like and we know when it's on, we'll make sure we're home or we're available to watch it. And that's the thing with scheduled content. That's one of the reasons why we get addicted to television shows, because we subconsciously know when they're going to be on, and we will in fact work things around stuff we want to do. And if we know when it's going to be out there, it just kind of makes it easier for us. Whereas on the YouTube side of things, we might know, like you might know, oh, I'm going to post a video today. You might know that. And you're waiting and you're like, oh my God, it's fucking 4 o'clock, you fat sack of shit. Where the fuck's the video? And then it doesn't post until 6 or something because I got delayed, or there were technical errors, or for whatever reason. Maybe I just didn't want to post it till fucking 6. You know, there's that level of connectivity between us that kind of gets fucked with, because I don't know your schedule. You don't know my schedule. So if I was able to then set it to be like, okay, great. You know, like we're going to do 4:30 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. and then also 8 a.m. or something. That would then be something that would start developing that. But again, it's because I don't have a studio that I work from that's not that soundproof, and I do everything on my own. It definitely it definitely becomes a thing. Anyway, I think I'm kind of talking in circles in this fucking subject, so I'm gonna wrap this whole thing up here in a second. But the other thing I did this week is I found out that one of my long-term friends, known the guy for 16 years, is turning 40, and he's gonna be a dad, first-time dad, and so he's doing a birthday party / baby shower next month in San Diego. Booked my tickets already. I'm going to go down. Thankfully, he lives up the street from my stepdad's house, so I can just walk up there and see everybody. But I'm going to be in San Diego for about 5 days. Might put together something like a meetup or something down there. Might, be like, hey, in San Diego, if anyone wants to get together and get a burrito. Otherwise, I'll just be hanging out with my friends and catching up with everybody and enjoying the sun, because it's so fucking cold in Oregon and I'm so ready to be done with it. I want to go bask in the sun, even if it's February in San Diego, which means it will be like 85 in the day and then maybe like 32 at night. And that's fine with me, because here it's 32 all fucking day. And then at night it drops to like 23. So it's just going to be like, it's just going to be like being up here. So there's that. Anyway, I literally have no idea how long this video is at this point. Thank you so much for letting me just ramble on. I hope you guys get to the end. And you know what? Screw it. Let's play a game here. If you've made it this far, just comment "cool beans" in the comment section, so I'll know you've made it this far, and that you've at least been somewhat fucking entertained. All right, guys. My name is Mundane Matt. I'll talk to you all later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.